In 2020, we got our first ever look at Nymphadora Tonks in LEGO form. Other than the video game that came out in around 2010, 2012, we haven't gotten a look at Tonks in a LEGO form, and so this was our first ever real LEGO figure. And to me, I really didn't like it. I thought she was pretty inaccurate, and even though she was just a minor figure in that scene, I think that it's important that we look at all these figures that we're getting and analyze why they're not good. The Attack on the Burrow set came with quite a lot of bad figures, so she's not the only one in this boat. But I wanted to focus in on her particularly because being as she's our only portrayal of this minifigure anywhere in the Harry Potter universe of physical set, I think it's really sad that the only look we've gotten at her is such a substandard. Most of us consider Nymphadora Tonks to be quite a mischievous and fun and really exciting character. She was first introduced in the Harry Potter series in the Order of the Phoenix when she comes to help save Harry from the Dursleys and bring him to Grimmauld Place. And in that scene we see her with some bright purple hair, and the bright purple hair has gone on to kind of signify her as a character. She's very excitable and fun, as I mentioned before, and I really don't get that impression from her minifigure. Looking at her minifigure, she's got a kind of calm and laid back expression, but I don't really see Tonks being like this. Her raised eyebrows feel a bit tired and less excited and more depressed, being a bit dramatic in saying that, but just what I'm trying to say is that she doesn't look right. I don't like her face and I don't like her hair. Specifically if we're talking about the Attack on the Burrow, in that scene she had a completely different hairstyle to the one that we see her get in this set. This one is more of a shorter, long hair version, whereas in the film she's got a fringe and it's kind of curved out at the bottom. Something more appropriate probably would have been Kira or Molly Weasley's hairstyles, but we did not get that unfortunately. Unfortunately, we got this hairpiece instead. So what I'm going to be doing is trying to find an appropriate hairpiece for her and an appropriate face, because I think it's about time that Tonks got some justice. Recently, I did a LEGO haul where I bought a few pieces off of Bricks and Pieces, and most of them were hair pieces. So what I'm going to be doing is going through all of these hair pieces that I picked out specifically to try on Tonks, as a lot of my issue with her is that she doesn't have purple hair. Now, I understand in that scene she didn't actually have purple hair, but I think that considering this is a pretty poor figure, I just wanted to elevate it even more by making it more accurate to the Tonks that we all know and love. So the first thing I went about doing was finding some purple pieces on Bricks and Pieces. There wasn't too many options to choose from, so I managed to find 3 specifically purple hair pieces and then also 2 brownish, reddish, kind of less ginger Weasley red and more bright red, more artificial colouring. I also had this piece from a CMF series earlier on. I think it was a Rocker Girl, I'm not too sure, and she was also in a light pink colour, which I thought might also be appropriate. So I've set all those pieces aside and I think we're going to try them out now. So the first thing I really did when going onto Bricks and Pieces was looking for something that would be good in terms of colour, because colour was the main thing for me. There was no appropriate hairstyles to use for her really. So as described, her hair colour is one of purple. So I mainly went for stuff from Hidden Side. A lot of the Hidden Side hair pieces are perfect for what we are looking for. One of the characters has kind of light purple hair colour, which made it very easy to get my hands on a few of these, which probably would have been harder otherwise, as purple's not a common hair piece. I'm going to say I haven't seen too many purple hair pieces. If you know one that would go perfect for her, I would love if you tell me which set it comes in. I also thought we could try this shorter pink one. It's not the right colour, but could be a potential option. And then I thought we could also try some of these redder, but not red enough to be Weasley red hair colours, just because they could probably work if we tried. We squinted hard enough and couldn't see. So here's Nymphadora Tonks, and let's try with those orange hair pieces. I doubt they're going to work, but let's try them anyway. The colour really clashes with her shoulders, so I don't think this is going to be a match, and nor with the other one, but we'll try the other one anyway. They're not really the right shape or anything anyway, because Tonks really doesn't have long hair throughout the films at all. That one looks really nice, but not Tonks-like enough. Okay, I'm going to try the pink one now, and if I'm being honest, this one might have been okay if it was the right colour. It's a little bit too bouncy, if that makes sense, to really be Tonks enough for me. Alright, now's on to the ones we're probably going to have a bit more luck with, and that is the purple hair pieces. So these are mostly from the Hidden Side sets. This one with the headphones, can't say I'm a big fan of it. As I said before, long hair pieces aren't really Tonks' thing, so I might have to nix this one. Although it's a really cool colour, I do like it. And then going in with this braided version with a yellow cap, and once again, as I suspected, did not really turn out that well. I like the hairpiece, but it's just not Tonks enough, and for some reason it just looks so jarring to see it on her. I don't know if that's just me. Maybe it's because it's more of a lighter and pastel-y colour. Anyway, and moving on to our last one, which I believe came in the Ninjago City Gardens set that came out earlier this year, and I think this might be our best bet. Even though it's not the same size as I would hope it would be, it actually looks alright on her. But I have to say it's not really working for me. It's unfortunate because LEGO is easily able to just pour existing molds with different colours, but they haven't so far. That's something I would have loved to have seen in that set. I know that it wouldn't have been accurate to the set, but LEGO doesn't seem to be a stickler for accuracy for specific minifigures in specific sets. I hope that they try that in the future. After trying out all those hair pieces, I wasn't quite satisfied with any of them. So I did what I had to do. And the only option in a situation like this, and no, I'm not going to paint the pieces. I'm not LEGO 3x11L. I'm not prepared to do that to my hair pieces. So the only viable option for me was going digital. So I went onto Illustrator and I mocked up what I thought her hairpiece should look like. I went for a more Tonks from Order of the Phoenix style with a more purple hair color. So you'll see me here outlining her hair and then making it a light purple, bright pinkish color. Now, although some people think it's bright pink, I think it might just be the coloring of the screen because that movie was quite dark. It was very blue in its tones, blue and grey. So that's kind of what we saw reflected on her hair. I'm going with the purple colour. I personally see it as purple and not as pink. It is the lighting, but that's how it appears on screen, so that's what I'm going with. And I think just making this little difference, it makes it look so much better. The next step after this was to change her face. I couldn't find an appropriate face that was already made in LEGO. Unfortunately, I couldn't find one that would perfectly convey her style and her expressions and her personality well enough in my personal opinion, so I had to do it myself. What I did was I basically raised her eyebrows. I made them more curved. These ones are very soft in its edges and not as arched, and I know that I've been looking at some reference photos and Natalia Tenner, who plays the role of Nymphadora Tonks, has very arched eyebrows which make her look very mischievous and fun. So I decided to incorporate that into my decisions and also made one of them raised, and I think it looks good on her. My opinion, obviously, because I made it. Since I was going for less of a Half-Blood Prince style and more of an Order of the Phoenix style, I had to change the color of her lips because in the Order of the Phoenix, she has more skin-toned lips, more flesh-colored, compared to her Half-Blood Prince appearance where she has bright red lipstick, which is shown in this minifigure. Honestly, I wouldn't be too mad about it if LEGO would actually come out with an appropriate hairpiece for Tonks. They could literally just recolor this brown one that we had on the original figure and make it purpley / pinkish, and that would just make it so much more accurate. I just wish they would do that. And this is the final minifigure. I think it looks pretty good. I think it looks pretty alright. I would love to see LEGO do another attempt of Tonks, but I don't think we'll see another one, unfortunately. I think she is meant to stay as a unique figure to this set, as we don't really see her prominently anywhere else. Unless LEGO is going to come out with the 12 Grimmauld Place build, I don't think we're going to see her again, unfortunately. So tell me what you think and like and comment and subscribe if you enjoy this video, and I'll see you guys later. Bye!